I have seen a lot of people complaining that the US is quote unquote losing this conflict. And I just don't agree with that at all. But somebody asked, was the GCC, the Arab, the Gulf states, really the target in this conflict? And that has been my base hypothesis since this started. Actually, since before this started. Um, really, once Venezuela fell, I think it was clear to me that this was where we were going to go next. Um, so the GCC is now being forced to cut production. I've highlighted that multiple times. They can still export some, but significantly less than they were before. I think my base case now is probably about 15 million is going to be cut. It'll be made, some of that will be made up in other places around the world, particularly in the Western Hemisphere, but that's going to take some time. I know like Guyana and Argentina have started drilling in the last several months or years. And then California has finally started drilling, but only because the Secretary of Energy got involved. And we'll see how that goes with the Santa Barbara thing. So Iraq is going to still trying to figure out the pipeline thing. I think maybe they've got it kind of figured out, but politically it's still a problem. Now countries like Japan are looking to the U.S. to buy energy. Yesterday there was the announcement, although I think this had already been kind of like, there had already been a memorandum of understanding that had been signed last month, that the Japanese were going to buy $56 billion worth of product from us. This is also going to end the petrodollar's chokehold on the U.S. dollar, which is also a win for the United States, and that's going to be made up in stablecoins. And that's already in the works. It's already happened, and this will just kind of accelerate that. And it's also going to help reshoring of U.S. manufacturing and industry, because energy will be cheaper in the U.S. than in other places around the world, which means that it's cheaper to manufacture and industrialize. More drilling in the U.S. I already highlighted that, and everyone's, drill baby drill thing. This also is going to get us out of the Middle East, I think, or make it less of our problem, which Trump has said multiple times now. And apparently this is also now once again proving that NATO is useless, which NATO has been pretty useless, I would say, since 2008. But definitely now NATO's pretty much defunct, and the U.S. is pretty ready to walk away. So that's my base thesis. That's what I think is happening here. The Iranians, kind of like the Russians, are playing the heavy and the bad guy. And not to say that they aren't bad people, just like the Russian government is also not good people. But these governments play the heavy for other strategic means.